Greetings, You Speak True family. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm your host, Nautica, and today we
got Rios in the building.
All right, Rios.
It's your boy,
We got a caller.
King Bethea, aka Dad and Kid.
Alrighty. And today, during our roundtable discussion, we'll be tackling the topic of state violence and its influence on domestic terrorism. Don't forget, if you want to chime in on the conversation at any time, you can call in at 404-404-4004. Again, that is 404
523-8989.
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay, y'all. We're gonna let
We
y'all
so
know
used
what
to
it
doing
is.
that.
It's the new number. The new number
404-523-8989.
So
And for the Atlanta term,
404-523-8989. Again, I apologize. I apologize.
You good, though.
All right. So we're gonna go straight. We're gonna go straight into our next segment, which is the Atlanta Post.
Yo, y'all, what's going on? It's your boy Rios. You know, it's the Atlanta Post. I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. But for real, it's too hot out here on Samantha.
On Lamron.
It's too hot. On Lamron, it's too hot. Somebody better quit. I don't know, but Rob better stop. Somebody better quit with the sun, because he is bugging.
Okay.
So, now, for real, bro, I
It's
know
too
this
much.
not the same sun that we remember when I was little, like, you know. Like, for the fact that global warming has been a thing. And I'm not sure if the man in the house know exactly what he doing with this climate. It's a problem, so he needs to go look at that instead of other things, you feel me? So on the local level, I'm finna hit you with the city has hit 100 degrees for the first time since June 25th, 2016.
Ain't it a shame?
That is a minute. That's like 2 years ago, but that's still a minute.
But I say it's 2 years ago. It's not that long
That's
ago.
still heavy. That's still heavy. I can't even like 2, 3, but that's still, we can't even go ahead and go for that. But on a national level, on record, globally, since the temperatures records have began in the year 2019, this past June and July has been the hottest recorded in history.
Woo.
That's
a lot.
For Atlanta, we can't stand this. 106.
That-
we not
yeah,
gonna
man.
go for that.
Yeah, man.
I think now we can come up with a new, I call it global burning. Okay, we're past the warming up. It's already warm.
It's
Like
hot.
That sounds
We
really
in a
disturbing.
microwave.
It's global
That's how
heating
it
now.
feels.
It's like
Global burning
heating.
sounds very disturbing, actually.
Very much so, but hey, that's how much the urgency that we need to go ahead and hop on this problem. So,
Oh yeah.
Big
solutions,
facts.
recycling.
Oh, yeah.
There's
You feel me? Going ahead and making sure
The big
that
thing that I've seen is like people throwing away straws, get away with
Yup,
plastic
yup.
straws and converting to metal straws.
Exactly. I mean,
I just like that. I like
but
the
it's
movement.
to
I
help
like
with
that.
like the
It's actually
fishes out there and just different aquatic animals not to have no straws in their throat and stuff
Yeah.
like that. 'Cause that could be hard.
Yeah, it can be.
That could be
Yeah.
detrimental. So,
Absolutely. That's disgusting, really. That people let their trash make it to landfills and oceans like that. It's we could do
Crazy,
better.
bro.
We could do better.
As a united community, we can. So everybody just make sure that you recycle. Try to walk as much as you can. Go ahead, ride a bike with your family. Go ahead and kick it. That's going to be the best thing that we can do. So yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to move to a music break. And we're going to get right back with you with Artist of the Week with my boy Judo Beats.
Oh, before we do that, I wanted to add too. I was watching the Trump rally. The last one that he did, I think last weekend. And this man has the nerve to say that solar energy was too expensive, it was too much work, and it was too much noise. So they're going back. He's like, we're going back to coal. We're going back to good old. We're going back to good old. I just want to let y'all know he said that verbatim. That's not his word.
We need to reduce, reuse, recycle, and walk as much as we can so we can lower our carbon footprint.
and get Trump out. Okay.
Yes. All right. We're going to a music break.
We're going to a music break. See you later with Artist of the Week.
All righty.
If you find the one, you should never give up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby. Take a moment to unwind, fix yourself and realign yourself with the world, baby. Breathe slow, baby, yeah. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, breathe slow.
Hey, y'all, well, you know it's your boy JQ back here again with not Artist of the Week. We're changing it up.
Okay.
So what we realized is that we want to give our artists more time. More time to get out there to our artists. More time to bloom on the airness of greatness. So we are now switching it to highlight artists of the month.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
okay,
Oh, yeah.
And
I like the sound of
basically
that.
what we're gonna do, basically on this show, we will do the interview, you know, maybe we'll freestyle if they feel like doing it. You know, you can't force nobody to do something they don't want to.
Exactly.
I'm a poke at you, see.
Right.
No cap. But and on the next show we will play more of their music. And just if anybody wanna call up and, you know, ask for their tag, you know, on that show we can still bring it out too. Just so we can spread it out because, you know, it's not a long show.
Nah, it's
And
only
so-
30 minutes.
But here we got, once again, actually was a really big favorite of one of those shows. My boy King Bethea.
Hello, well.
What's up?
What's up, man?
How you been? You know, it's been a little while since we had you on last time.
Pretty good, man. I just been coasting, writing more songs, making more music with my friends. Pretty much how I've been.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So just to re-go over some stuff for some people who probably wasn't listening last time. First, what inspires your music? Like, tell me that. Like,
First,
explain that to me.
initially listening to my dad produce beats and write music as a kid, and then with all the situations that I was dealing with when I was young, like music got me through it, listening to different genres of music such as rock, jazz, hip-hop, and different artists. This got me through the time, so then it inspired me to create my own.
And actually, it throws me into another question I have, just from actually knowing that. How does, like, the effect of your father in the music industry affect, like, your songs?
Facts. It's really good. My father pushes me, like, on a consistent basis to stay authentic with my songs. He uses his platforms on the radio station, 105.5 The Beat, just to help me, like, get my music out there. And he just, like, you know, constantly stays on me. So yeah, he's a big influence.
Do you
It
ever
really helps.
Do you ever feel like any pressure from yeah, my dad does this, so I have to live up to that. Like, does that pressure ever get to you sometimes?
Good question. Initially, yes. I did feel like I had to live up to, like, his expectations, something like that. Like, like just to stay, like, focused with music. But then I realized that this is my life, so I have to do it my way, and I'm not like living my dad's shadow.
So take me through your process of writing music. Like, well, what does that process look as a young artist? You know, all the different type of artists out now. Like, you have the conscious rapper, the trap rapper,
right?
You know, the lyricals. You know, take me through your process. Like, and it doesn't have to be in details when you're giving up some secret sauce. Take me.
I can give y'all that.
Yeah.
So personally, for me, it's just, it's really easy. My process is really easy because I speak on personal experience or things that I feel that need to be said that are wrong in our society. So I would go, it could be like a documentary I watched or something on the news or something that I'm personally going through at that moment or in the past that I use that memory and then just start writing lyrics to it, finding a beat like on YouTube. Yeah, you know, every artist, like new income artists, go to the YouTube type beats, and now I have friends that actually produce beats like Press Miss, UJQ, aka. So we all just
shout out to Press, you know.
Shout out to Press, shout out to AKA Ari.
He was our last artist of the week, and even Ari, she was the one before that. Shout out to them.
Dope.
Hopefully we have them back on here.
Oh yeah, facts. They're coming back.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's dope. So you know, the last time we had you on, well, I had you on here.
Yep.
You know, you had to do something, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
had to show me some bars.
Big facts.
And,
We have to see what you're working
quick
with.
fun fact. Everybody know my rapper persona is Little Toothpick, and that's how Little Toothpick was born. So Little Toothpick is challenging you. Do you have some more bars?
Oh, you know, it's
Yeah, we want bars in the building.
Ooh, you had a freestyle.
Throw me a quick one on.
Freestyle?
I got
Oh
you.
snap!
I
Let's
got
get
something for you.
freestyle
Hold on,
going.
let me get the finger ready. The finger of
Said, play that
plainness.
DJ.
Run it. Run it.
Is
Got it.
the beat going?
Run it.
Is the beat?
We're trying to get some tech stuff going. Oh. You're gonna have to use headphones to hear the
Oh
beat.
wait,
Oh.
I don't. Can you hear it?
I'll grab some headphones
Can
for
you
you.
hear it? We're having
You wanna
some
set me off?
technical. Let me ask you another question till we get some gear for you real quick. So when you're picking out beats, what's that process looking like?
When I pick out beats that are actually that I feel like I can rap something like meaningful too. So I love like soulful music. Usually soulful type beats. And I don't even limit myself to a certain type of beat, so I'm not even gonna say that. It's just anything I feel in at that particular moment.
Do anybody up here have any questions for me?
Yeah. Well, what kind of artists interest you, like, at the moment?
Woo! Okay, yeah, that's easy. I'm going with JID.
Oh,
Hands
yeah.
down right now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You got the Spillage in there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Listening.
What specifically about him?
His like, I guess, his consistency with music as well. I was watching an interview of his, and he actually studied the game detail from detail before, like, to perfect his craft. You know, JID was going through some things. He was playing football, and then he was just going through some tough times before that, and so he actually felt like music was like his calling, I guess, like God's calling for him, and then he went with it and studied his craft, and then now he's at where he is now.
Exactly. So you feel
It's
like
a
if
huge
you just
inspiration.
apply the same consistency that you're gonna get right with it.
Instead, yes, and keep studying the game.
Yeah, on God. Best to learn your history and best to stay consistent with what you want to do so you can get where you want to go.
So can we get this
Right.
freestyle now?
Alright, we got it. We got it.
All right.
We figured it out.
So if y'all listening on air, y'all will be hearing something. You ready? Hold on, let me start it
Let's
over
go,
for
let's
you.
go.
Let me start it over.
Hey.
Dead and Kid. Yeah. I feel you, God. Alright. This for the ones who done doubted me. They be the same ones that's claiming they proud of me. Yeah, I'm alive, but it's not where I ought to be. I seen some tragedy just like the Odyssey. Been through the struggle, I learned how to hustle. They plotted against me, but I am not phased. Feel I should mention they hated my vision. Now they have intentions of riding my way. Yeah, pull up in the city of the beast. Belly start to starve and them kids gotta eat. Rat-ta-ta, the shot stay fired. They shot my pride. They put the kid on his back with the heat. Out here, man, you gotta get it how you live. Because every single minute, the second that you hesitate, you bite that bait and still love fate of stagnant living. and unforgiving loved ones for your own downfalls. When it is over, who do you call? Everyone's gone, just another brick in the wall. Clip reloaded, aiming at a copping figure. Two talks back to him, Bob the builder. Bloodshed over the streets of Sin City, not newsworthy. They ride the hill by Benz, Billy, cop out a new upcoming celebrity. Surrounded by celebrants who lack the intelligence to discern the relevance in the individual. Notice the IG notification, the individual see what they want you to. Youth of this generation are blinded in bird box. Parents teaching them to live in fear of society. I'ma teach my kids to put their faith in my deity. I stand strong with all my family that's side of me. This is the melody of a melanin man, and knowing things of the world, knowing that heaven's in hand. Amen.
We want bars and clean bars at that. Yeah.
Watch when Lil Tupi come out. Watch.
Wow.
That was nice. I dig that. I dig that. Go ahead. I can dig it. Can y'all dig it? All right,
y'all. So we're gonna go into a quick music break, and then we're gonna come back to hop right into our conversation. We don't have much time, so we're gonna try to make it as quick as possible. All right, loves. We'll be back. Mark your calendars. We are getting ready for our South Atlanta Assembly on August 24th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our goals are to bring together South Atlanta community members to talk through and identify concerns as well as collectively address them, to center South Atlanta community voices in the decision-making process, and to continue to build a leadership team that makes decisions about non-gamma and the Mutual Aid Liberation Center. We are a part of the Southern Movement Assembly that will be gathering in Mississippi in November of this year. We aim to have a leadership team that represents the South Atlanta community. The Southern Movement Assembly gathers each year across the South to work through visions and plans on liberation through the South and all people. For more information, you can call 404-622-0602. For more information, you can call 404-622-0602. Again, that number is 404-622-0602. Nobody's free until everybody's free. What up? Welcome back. And if you are just tuning in, welcome. This is You Speak Truth Radio here on WRFG 89.3 FM. I'm your host, Nautica, and I have here with me.
Hey, young world, it's your boy. It's your boy JQ. What's going on? This Rios. I am never gonna get on that one, but yes, we're gonna get to it.
Hey, yo, Daddy and Kid, aka King Bethea in the building.
Whoa.
And if you are interested in participating in this conversation, you can call in at 445238989.
523-8989.
I will add that we do have, again, like a short amount of time. We only have 5 minutes left in the show, so we'll try to get through this, and I'll try to leave us on a good note. So in light of recent acts of violence committed by angry white men, we want to share our thoughts about state violence and its influences on acts of domestic terrorism. It is absolutely disheartening that white men in this country get a slap on the wrist after committing violent acts in the name of patriotism. However, I would add that I do not expect anything less. Our country was founded on the genocide of people who did not look like the white settlers who stole this land, and as well as many others. Moreover, our Constitution is embedded in white supremacy, and every time a mass shooting or hate crime happens that involves a white male, elected government officials are quick to give every narrative but the one that actually counts. And frankly, now we're tired of it. The excuses that just don't fly here anymore. So before we dive in deep on the subject, I think it'd be great if we define the terms state violence and domestic terrorism for context. Remember, your understanding and interpretation of these things are yours. While there is room for correction, I will ask that anyone calling in keep an open mind and make I statements only. That way we are respecting the strengths and weaknesses of others. All right, so to hop right in, I want to ask my crew here, how would you define state violence and how would you define domestic terrorism in your own words?
I'm gonna try to be short-winded.
Okay.
I know my explanation. So state violence. This is the thoughts of Jaquan Allison. Not the beliefs and thoughts of WRFG. Just letting y'all know out there. When I think of state violence, I think of when somebody tries to enact some violence intentionally. Like, cause sometimes there's a difference between somebody like something violent just happening, like two people like they didn't plan on starting a fight but they just end up getting into a fight. But to me, state violence is like when somebody's like, oh no, I'm gonna go and kill somebody today. I'm gonna shoot somebody, I'm gonna go and cripple, I'm gonna go and ruin somebody's life today. That's state violence to me. When you're intentional, when that's your thought, that's your thinking process, that's state violence to me. And terrorism is, to me, it's a bigger thing because terrorism doesn't have to be just like physical violence. It doesn't have to be considered like, oh, that's against the law, because it can be unlawful. And that varies upon people's definition. But it's when you intentionally go and try to destroy somebody's culture, no matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, no matter if it's against your own culture, when you intentionally try to break down and tear down that culture for the benefit of your own. That's, to me, that's a terrorist on somebody's culture.
Okay, wow. Word.
That's heavy.
Heavy.
For sure. My definition for state violence, I mean, when it comes to my perspective, honestly, I think break it down, state violence. So you got a state of being, you feel me? A state could mean a place, property, something of a moment in time, to a point to where violence is always in this area that you would call, or state of time. So it's just like something that consistently enough will enact some type of hurt to someone else in any place and time. That's for state violence. But it goes hand in hand with domestic terrorism, because domestic is at home. Like, domestic is what you're used to, is what is your surroundings. You feel me? And then terrorism, we all know what terror is. It is something that will strike the heart, fear, and it's something that controls and oppresses people. And it's another ism, so it's a structure that go ahead and implements that terror. So it's just terror at home, or terror in a space, or violence in a space. It goes hand in hand.
When I think of state violence, I think about all the things, all the non-physical things, as well as the physical acts of violence that are enacted on certain groups of people, such as the fact that we have food deserts in poor parts of the city, or the fact that there's an over-policing of poor parts of the city. And then as I say, poor parts of the city, like there's a specific group of people that are being targeted by these acts of violence. And so it's not just like the physical hurt, but it's also like you're hurting people's pockets, you're hurting people's bellies, and you're hurting people's way of living. You are stunting growth in neighborhoods, you know what I mean? And it's very targeted and very specific. And then when you talk about terrorism, I think terrorism falls right under that, except the only difference I think is just the ideology that influence those acts of terrorism, because you got groups of people now, you got clans of people ready to act on those ideologies. And so it's crazy, because like Brother Kwaku was just having a conversation on the last show about state violence, and also the white nationalism and the neo-Nazi movement, and how these groups of people are evoking violence on others because of the rhetoric that, you know, there's this, what do they call it, the great
replacement.
Yeah, the great replacement.
Like, what, a manifesto you writing called the great replacement, where we will not be replaced. What is being chanted. But you know.
So I have to end it now. I have to close out, and so hopefully we can come back and next show and come back and finish up this conversation. We have a lot to say, y'all.
Yes,
we have a lot to say.
Not enough time to say it.
Yeah, so we love y'all, and in light of all of this, I think that love will win at the end of the day.
Real quick before we go out, also, my boy, King Bethea, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at @1king_Bethea. That's @1king_BETHEA.
Alright, that's what's up. And do you have SoundCloud?
SoundCloud at Daddy and Kid. That's D.E.K.
Alright,
your first time.
Gang. All right, y'all. Peace. This was You Speak Truth Radio on WRFG 89.3. Stay tuned.
Do it, young world.
Love y'all.